Boom, boom. This is Ken. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Bleach Immortal Soul up today. So up on the screen, I have a notice that came out. This came out yesterday. They found some issues with the War Soul of Chaos. It was causing drain and scaled in multiple growth, basically um, uh, allowing people to you get a lot of damage on enemies, especially if you're wearing the War Soul, much more than should normally you could do. So it affected a lot of players because a lot of players have the War Soul of Chaos. It's one of the best ones. It's created actually from Eisen. So here's what we got. So they've investigated it and fixed it. And once the fix is completed, they're going to be it's going to give you 30 Eisen shards and 5,000 soul stones, fractured soul stones. So when you see that reward in your box, that's what it's for. I assume it's going to be for everyone, even though if you didn't have a War Soul of Chaos, you'll still be eligible for the actual reward, which is nice. 50 Eisen shards will be very useful to me. That will allow me to take him up. I think I actually get 5 stars out of him at that point. Not needed at the moment because doing pretty good right now, actually. As you know, in my last video, finally figured out what all the problems were, managed to fix them, and decided for a new direction that we'll be taking here. All right, so what do we got? So the event is in the battle arena event ends today. So make sure that you get in here and claim your rewards. Now, this will be up for 2 more days, but the actual arena, the actual battle event ends today. So make sure that you get in and do your last 20, because after today, as you can see, these things are going to be gone in about 9 hours. So this will no longer. So you want to get your last 20. You want to go ahead and hit that today. Then this will be up for 2 more days. I've already went ahead and purchased everything. I grabbed up, mainly focused on the actual Awakening Essence because that's what I need at the moment. And then I snatched up one of the Omni Shards, one of the 5 set and one of the 1 set. So that's what I did with mine. You of course, if you're working on any of the characters, you might want to purchase the shards. But the best bang for the buck is usually the Omni Shards and the actual Awakening Essence, especially since that is going to be my priority now. Is going to be double souling up my characters, as that seems to be the biggest bang for the buck, and it allowed me to go back into 26 and complete those 2 levels that I did not 3-star. I went back, easily 3-starred them, and blasted through 27. Completely 3-starred everything, all with that War Soul of Healing. It's just an immense. It's really awesome because when you attack regular, it heals, so you're healing yourself while you're attacking. So as long as everybody survives the first round, and then starts throwing their regular attacks, you start getting healing. Okay, and it targets the lowest healers, which are usually your attackers in the back. So I don't know how many times I've seen Dengaichi go, and since Zangetsu get here almost back to nearly full after the attack sessions go through, because it's your whole team, not just your back team. Everybody attacking regular attacks. So it's a good War Soul. That's definitely one of the best War Souls in the game at this point. So you definitely want to make that if you can. I only had the capability to make one. It's very easy to make. It uses Urahime shards, so it's not that difficult to make in terms of, not the Christmas Urahime, but the SR version of her, which is one that you should have a lot, and it's this one right here. It's called the War Soul of Healing. Increases the soul bearer's hit points by 15,750 plus 3938, and that's because I've got the preference on it. Plus 12% and another 3% due to the preference during the normal attack phase. So it's not when they're raging, it's when they're normal attacking. Every 3 ally attacks. So every 3, so that means you're going to get it twice because you have 6 characters. So every 3 times an ally attack release, it restores the hit points of the character with the lowest hit points by 60% plus 15, because I have the preference of 75% of the soul bearer's attack, and plus 800, and then plus 200 for a total of 1,000. So yeah, you can see it. It literally procs right in screen. You'll see it 1 minute Tenta Zangetsu or Danigai Ichigo. It doesn't matter who it is. It's the character with the lowest hit points. So whoever on the screen, it's usually one of your 3 back attackers, because your fronts are tanks they're built to handle that. The back rows, attackers, or support, they're not built to handle that. So they're usually, and it is. I can't remember how many times I've seen Dengai Ichigo or Tensai, even White Ichigo on occasion, be just so low because they got rough, they got double teamed or triple teamed on the first round, and all of a sudden they're back up to full or almost full. So that's why I was able to do that. And I just blew right through that section I was having with that UR version of Yorkcore. Just blew right through it, and I said, "Oh, let's go ahead and continue on." And then I just 3-starred everything all the way through, completed the chapter without any problems whatsoever. I've noticed in the PvP, this works in PvP as well. It's not just the PvE kit; it actually works in PvP, and I've noticed characters I was losing and not losing those anymore. One thing I've noticed also, not useful in terms of it doesn't help your attack, but I've noticed that the squad boss, I'm virtually full healing when it's done. That's ridiculous. My backline is completely full. They never die. I'm to the point where they were able to take the damage, but now they're virtually full at the end of the squad boss. It's looking at the squad boss, and you're around 10-10, and the back line's barely got any damage lost. All three are virtually full because they've all just been going around, and they keep healing each other every 3 attacks, and it's always the lowest. So it's what I like to call a targeted heal. It's a useful heal. It's not just like some heals where they're just like heal. Even if a person doesn't need healed, it heals them anyway. You know, this focuses on the one, so it's ridiculous. At the end of the squad boss, I've got like full healing on my characters. It's ridiculous. This is going to allow me to maybe enter in some of the weaker attack characters that I have that would worry about dying and see if I can get more damage. I'm at about 120. I'm at about 121. I want to get up to 125, but I'm right now at 121 million. So that's where I'm at right now. My goal was 125, and then I'll set another goal after that. So this is one of the best. This one, I'm sorry, is one of the best, if not the best, War Soul in the game. So you definitely want to make that if you can. All right. So as you can see, I'm into Prism Blue. Okay. I've got Prism Blue. I went ahead and took him up 2 just because the shards were there. I got a bunch of shards and rewards and stuff, and there were a lot of Prism shards, so I was able to make him twice. I've got him completed. I'm now working on getting up a Sazi, and then I'll take get him up to 1 prism, and then I'll go back and do 2 prisms on all of them. As you see, I got the should have the mats to do that for most of them. I started doing the elite stages. The big draw on the weapons is actually the fact that you need. Let's go to somebody who doesn't have it. You need a lot of these right here. These are not complete. You don't need to have these completed to do 27. So I went ahead and did them. This is these 3, 46, 47, and 48, and got them 3-starred so that I can now use the mats, the drawing from them to do all the weapons. So after you've completed 27, just go ahead and hit 146 of the story. Go ahead and hit 146, 147, 148 in the elite stages. Like I say, I'm not really having much trouble with that anymore, 3-starring that stuff, because what I was lacking was the healing, and now I have it. So it's really not that big of a deal. I'm able to, blitz through anything. I could probably, once I'll be able to start 28, we'll have to see. By that time, I will probably have everything War Soul. That is my new focus right now. Is going to be focusing on getting War Souls for all of the characters. I've already got a couple in line of what I'm thinking for. I haven't finalized it yet. So right now I'm just starting to collect. You need 15 shards and 10 Awakening Essence to unlock the secondary War Soul. So I've already got enough to unlock 2 just with the Omni shards. But I actually have shards for some of them. So, I think I only need 45 Omni shards, and I'll be able to have all the Omni shards to fully open up that second. So, but that's going to take, I'm going to need like 40 Awakening Essence. So that's why I've been focusing on. So I'm going to be focusing more on Awakened Essence over Omni Shards in the next couple events. I'll get a bunch of Awakening Essence when the next Gacha event comes up, because if you look at your Gacha, you're guaranteed to get an Awakening Essence when you do a 10 pool on the Gacha. Okay, Awakening. So Yeah, every time you do a gotcha, your awakening essence, you get guaranteed to get one. I have actually got two once before, which was nice. But so whenever they have the next gotcha event, um, and I'll be doing like 6 or 7 draws, so I'm going to get like 6 or 7. So by the end of that, I'll probably have enough to do two. I'll probably have close to 20 awakening essence, and I'll be able to go ahead and do two of the characters. I'm looking at the secondary war. I've got a bunch of war souls. I mean, war souls are not something that I lack, and I've got enough soul stones to fully max whichever ones I choose out. So it's not that big a deal. So I'm looking at some of the more awesome. Obviously, the War Soul of Chaos is obviously one. Okay, and there are a few others. If you go look in your War Soul bag, as you can see, I've got a lot to hear from. This is the one that I'm telling everybody should create. This is what it looks like. Okay, but there's a bunch of others. Yeah, you got the Silence, the Vanguard, Avatar, but there's a bunch of others that I can actually create. From base. I've got a lot of these are really really good. This one here is this. This is the War Soul of Chaos. This is the one that they were talking about was in the notice that we had at the beginning of the game, which had a little issue which caused a proc. It's created by using Eisen shards. This is probably for damage. This is probably the best War Soul for damage from the secondary volatile War Soul level. This is the combined War Soul, which means it combines the shards from him as well. So as you can see, it increases the Soul Bearer's. Now this is just the base, okay, by 370 and HP. And the Soul Bearer's Rage skill drains 6 plus 100 of the target's attack and 6 plus 100 of the enemy's theft. Okay, and it lasts for 2 rounds. So basically, you're draining their attack and draining their defense. Okay, so this is why this is one of the top-rated War Souls. So that's going to be one. Another one is probably I'm leaning towards. I really like the Crescent. Okay, this is just increases the Soul Bearer's attack when the better ally rage skill is increased by 6. Okay, what you want to do is you want to try to focus on something that assists all of the characters. Okay, this affects ally rage skill, so that's all of the M. So you don't want to like get one that doesn't affect those. So this one here, and okay, so this is just focusing on the character that's wearing it. So this might not be one that you want to do. You want to try to focus on some of the ones that are for all of the characters. Okay, here's a nice one. This just uses Tetsu Zangetsu. A lot of the effective is the actual quality of the shards that you're using. The reason the Soul of Chaos is so awesome is because you're having to use UR Aizen shards. Soul of Soaring is pretty good because you're using UR Zangetsu shards, and it's the same with that. So any one of the ones that are using UR shards are probably going to be a tad bit better than, see, this one that increases all characters, and that's because you're using UR shards for Shinji. So as you can see, it gets a little bit better based on the shards that you're using. This one is nice because of the fact that it's using Ichigo shards, and he of course is UR character once you get him built up. So based on the level of quality, you could say, of shards that you're using from the other characters, make them a little bit more better. But the War Soul of Orihime uses, Orihime's SR version does not use her Christmas version shards. So you should easily be able to complete that as long as you've gotten the basis for it. So yeah, so I'm probably going to use this Chaos, probably maybe use the Soaring. I'm going to need, I think I'm going to need 3. So I've got one there. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm only going to need 3. Okay. So I might move this one up and use one of these instead, because this increases all allies attack. This is the Vanguard one. This uses Soifan shards. So this might be one that I can use in the interim until I can get the others built up if I need to. Of the Soul Bearer's attack. Okay, this is a nice one because it affects all characters in your bag, even the ones not wearing it. So it's just like a total power buff So that might be something to look as well. I'm already getting that buff simply because of the fact that I have it and it's equipped on Ichigo right now. But I might move it to one of the others just to get the attack buff. Okay. Moving it to him. So just in interim, it's not preference, so that would just be temporary. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of them, and then I'm going to start focusing on the preference. And of course, to do that requires orange balls right here, which are the soul orbs. These allow you to change the preference of the war soul, and you keep rolling it until you get the matching preference based on what character you want to put it on. So I'm gonna have that'll be the third. That's part of this next focus, I guess, too. And then after that, then I'll start focusing on going back to getting the characters up to, more shards for the characters. Hopefully, broach 7. But it's really not something I'm that important on. Basically, I'm going to start focusing on weapons. The soul box events are going to be primarily focusing on ones for the team, just so I can get weapons. I've got everybody's weapon awakened, but to do the second awakening, you need 2 of the weapons. So that takes a little bit longer. I'm hoping that they'll find some way to give us your weapons a little bit more obtainable, other than having to wait for soul box events. But we'll have to see. So that's where I'm at. So I'm just working through things right now. I just wanted to give a quick video to let everybody know that to do your battle arena battles today. Remember, guys, it's just do 10 of them. You don't have to win. You just have to participate. Also, remember the season pass is going to be gone here in a couple of days as well. So I'm on right on pace. I will complete it the day before it closes. I'll get it, and I'll have all the shards. I've already created this version of him. I've already created it, but you can get 10 extra shards. I don't use these characters simply because of the fact that they're a little bit better than SSR, but they're not quite as good as you are, and there's still limited ways of attaining. To really utilize this character, you have to purchase the elite. So I consider these pay-to-play characters simply because of the fact that once you purchase the elite, you get a bunch more shards, as you can see. You get enough shards to actually utilize the character. You can probably get him up to 6 or 7 stars just through the event. Plus you get his awakened item, which in this case is, of course, drink glass. Okay, you can get all this stuff inside of the elite phase. Other ways, you can use Omni shards to bring them up, but there's no other way to get. They're not offered anything anywhere else. Okay, they don't offer the drink glass anywhere. So, the only way to get it is you really purchase this and using the shards and what. But they're SSR, but they're a little bit better than regular SSRs. They have a more selective skill set, so they're not bad. But again, I just prefer to focus on the UR characters. And once I do that, we should be ready to tackle 28. So right now, like I said, so go ahead and power through 27. And when 28 comes out, I thought 28 was already up. I guess it's not. I thought 28 was up. Well, it'll be out soon if it's not. And then go ahead and jump into the elite stages. Like I say, knockout. You should have stopped right here at 145. If you get your 3 stars right up here, you should be able to get into 27. So knockout 146, 147, and 148. And as you can see, those will give you the Regent 1 drawings that you need to actually start focusing on your items, because you don't get these Regent 1s. I find out that a lot of the time when I get Regent drawings inside of the rewards and stuff, for some reason they're for Regent 3, which is completely useless to me right now. I'll be needing Regent 3 in the near future, and I have quite a bit of them, so I won't need to go sweeping for them. But you don't really see the Regent 1s. Occasionally in the shop you might get a couple, but really they just don't, they've sort of bypassed them and went to the higher Regents, which I'm not sure why. So just do 146, 147, 148. That'll enable you to sweep 9 of them a day. So in 3 or 4 days you should have enough to build up enough to get a lot of the weapons. Since every single piece of equipment uses it for their Regent, doing these, this will give you 9 free, and then if you want to throw in like 150 Soul Jade, you can get 18 by opening them up again, because you can do 3 a day. So that'll give you, enough to do 18 a day, and that should be, going through. It's all going to be, dependent on how much coin you have. I have been saving it up for quite some time, knowing I was going to hit the point where sooner or later I would be able to advance, and then I was going to have to start spending, well over $1 million each time just to enhance characters and stuff. So I should be set for the near future with my gold. Like I say, we've found some disappointment. We're going to have a couple Christmas characters. They haven't not thrown up the run must be running a little bit behind. Let's see if it's up today. It wasn't up. It was not up yesterday. Let's see if it's up today. It's going to be Christmas Nell and Christmas Grimjow. They're calling Grimjow Grimjoy. So there's Kaiten. Turned out not to be as good as everyone was hoping Kaiten did. So everybody was quite disappointed in her. If you've seen her yet. Okay. Yeah, they still don't have the new Christmas characters, but the leaks group has uncovered a Christmas Nell guaranteed, Nell inside of a sled. That's the Christmas Nell, and they've got what looks like the images they've covered under Grimjow. They're not sure if it's going to be a season pass, but they said it looks more like a Christmas theme, so they're expecting it to be another Christmas character. So 2 more Christmas characters. I'm not happy with that. Well, let me rephrase that. I will not be happy if it interferes with me working on Christmas or MA. I still need to get her event, but as long as they don't change the shop, nothing should be a problem. As long as they don't change the event shop right here, I don't mind them changing it, but just make sure that you don't take out these 4 items right here, which will be Ichigo and Orihime, and don't take out the umbrella and the glove, which is Orihime's weapon. So I'm still working on completing those items. So I should be able to do that this Christmas event. I should be able to get enough time tokens to actually come in here and pick up the awakening weapons. So that's where we're at with that. So as long as it doesn't interfere with that, I have no problem with that. We've been unable to, the Bleach Immortal Leaks Discord has had a lot of people quit recently. They quit playing the game. As you know, in my last videos, I've highlighted why, and it's basically those same reasons why a lot of them have quit. It's basically the pay-to-win look has become slightly. The problem, it's really been, let's face it, okay, the game's always been paid to win, but usually for fairly decent value. You could get some stuff that was worth it. Okay, but a lot of the stuff that came out in recently here is nowhere near worth it, and there's too much of it. When you start to get something that overpowers the actual essence of the game, which is what they're very close to doing with all this new stuff that they've been entering in, it really affects it. The awakened tokens, yeah, just nobody's like that. Everybody hates the battle pass. Nobody likes that as well. I don't either. I think that's a little bit on the ridiculous side. So, so those are the things that you have to deal with. But it is what it is. Like I say, try to get your characters to 6 stars. Don't ignore the War Souls, the secondary War Soul. Go for that before you go 7. Use your Omni Shards if you have to make those so you can open up that secondary war slot, because that's where you're going to get most of your power. And that's going to be one of the ways that you're going to have to utilize maximum damage and maximum healing in this case for your team. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble getting through 27. And like I said, it just took that one War Soul to make all the difference in the world. Yeah, definitely make that, max it out, preference it, put it on whoever you want. And you should see a big increase in your ability to survive, because lowest hit points characters healed every time 3 allies attack, and it's base attack. You don't have to wait around for the rage. So yeah, it's just base ally attack. So that's where we're at. All right, so that's good. So yeah, go ahead and get the limit time exchange. Remember, you got a couple days. Finish it off today. Season pass closes in a couple days, so make sure you, if you're going to do that, make sure you purchase. To get within 2 days of when it's going to end. You can buy levels if you don't have them. I just focus on it, so it hasn't been much of a problem. And remember, Christmas 22nd, so we should have the event coming out probably within the next day or two. Hopefully we'll get those rewards for Eisen. Those 50 shards, if you're not going to use Eisen, this is the guild the version you get of Eisen through your squad. It's that version. So you can use those to make the War Soul of Chaos. Okay, so that's if you're not going to use him as a character in your team, you can use those shards to focus on making a War Soul of Chaos, which is an extremely good War Soul. Excellent for a second slot. So that's something to consider as well. So hopefully we'll get that. And they're giving you extra soul stones. You should be able to max it out virtually. That should be enough soul stones. But I've got enough soul stones to max out whatever I make. All 3 of them. I've been storing them up, realizing that I was going to need a second War Soul on everybody eventually. So I was only using them on ones I wanted. So I've got them all saved up, and I've got the three or so in mind that I want to use. So that should increase my team damage immensely after I get that. So I shouldn't have any trouble going through 28 once that story hits. All right, so we'll do another video here in a day or two once the actual Christmas event drops. We'll talk about it. We'll see how well it is, see if it's, the way they've been leaning, it's probably not going to be something that's like new. It's probably going to use the following format that they've been using on the last couple videos. But it is what it is. It's a functioning format. It's not as good as it could be. But we'll have to see. And they're going to have 2 new characters. Hopefully one of those characters, either Nell or Grimjow, will be free to play characters, meaning they'll have some type of 6 or 7 day event where you complete many events, like just basically doing your dailies for 7 days, and you'll get enough of the in-game currency to actually get the character. Don't know if they're going to do that, and don't know which character that will be. We have confirmed Nell, Christmas Nell, and they have what looks like a Christmas Grim Joy, is what they're calling him. But they're not sure if that was actually a Christmas event as well, because that's the season pass is ending right now as well too. So there's going to be a new season pass. So they're not sure if he's going to be entered into that, or if he's just going to be another character in a Christmas event. And since we have not got slots for them inside of the actual archive, it's really difficult to tell what they are, but like we don't even have a slot. So I guess that's going to come out pretty soon. They don't, they haven't widened the slot here for the Christmas. So they could have a whole new slot with 2 new characters, or they could just stick Nell right in here in the Christmas special edition and make that. But neither of that's happened yet. I assume all that will, of course, happen once the event goes live, which should be within the nehave day or 2. Okay, so we'll have to see. But yeah, until that time, just go ahead and hunker down, get what you need to get done, and we'll have another video when the event comes live, and we'll talk a little bit about it. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. Click on that. You get notified each time I drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as that does help the channel immensely. So this is Ken Rear, coming at you from the corner, signing out.